This show contains mature content. Listener discretion is advised.
Are you ready to get your mind blown?
One angry New York City Puerto Rican decided to start a radio show, determined to piss the world off by shoving a mirror in front of society's face. He kicked them in the balls.
What are you? Who are you?
This is the Crotch Shot Radio Show. Crotch Shot Radio Show.
This is not a test. This is a broadcast transmission.
We're going to stay on the air.
And now, the Whippy.
Welcome to the Crotch Shot Radio Show, where we kick the issues in the balls. We're on an active war against bullshit. We would do anything and everything to expose bullshit. The ends sometimes justify the means, so if you're angry and want the truth exposed, then strap in and prepare to be shocked. This is Smash Mouth Talk. If you can't accept that, then fuck off. I'm your host, Louis B. I takes no bullshit from nobody. I actually expose the bullshit of society and chop it up into easy-to-digest chunks for you. Today won't be any different. Today, I am being the little investigative reporter right now. As some of you may know, I voted for Trump, and, I specified my reasons in previous episodes, but no one, I haven't heard anyone actually talk to other people from the other side, like Hillary supporters or people who are against Trump or, anything like that. So, what I fear is people are afraid of the upcoming Trump administration, and I just I got someone to call in, and this is not going to be a debate. I am not going to debate her. I am not gonna argue. I'm not going to do any of that. I'm just going to ask questions and listen to the answers. But right now she's running errands right now. We have her on Skype, but she's just going home. She's getting her sushi. And she's here. Well, I'm proud to have Mrs. Christine Meehanberg. How you doing?
Hello. It's weird to say Mrs. It's very strange.
It is.
It is. It's so weird. I just got married 2 months ago, so I'm still getting used to it.
Mazel tov.
Thank you.
May you be plentiful with children soon.
Oh God, well he wants them now, and I'm like, bro, I need to go on my honeymoon first.
Oh,
let's ease off. I mean, he's a Jew. They want to make more Jew babies.
Yeah. Well, you need to keep the tribe going. I understand.
That's true, but it's gonna be like half Shiksa, half Jew. It's gonna be great. Well, Christmas and Hanukkah.
Yeah, well, that's kind of like a blade. All the strengths of being a Christian without none of the weaknesses.
Yeah, and then you can also complain a lot.
Yeah.
It's going to be a lot of it's going to be like, I'm going to be saying, don't you complain, and he's going to be complaining with the kid. You see, it's going to be great. I feel like it's going to be a good life.
Well, I mean, what flavor Christian are you?
Well, I'm recovering. That's the thing. Yeah. Yeah, recovery for Catholicism.
Oh. Ooh.
Yeah.
Oh, me, I grew up Jehovah's Witness, so.
Oh, well, you're way worse than I am, so I'm so sorry.
Yeah, me and, oh, God, what's his name? Kurt Metzger.
Yes.
Except
my husband roasted him, so that it was a good time.
Yeah.
I
mean, I wasn't cute enough to be molested, though.
Oh, no. I was? No, I didn't mean that.
Oh.
I feel really bad saying that.
Look, don't brag. Don't brag because you got laid when you were younger.
Oh, gross.
Don't. We don't like braggarts here.
No, just slutty when I was 15, you know?
Look. You know what? You don't have to throw that shit in my face. Like I'm Puerto Rican. I lost it at 10 years old. It was way late.
Way late.
Way
Yeah,
late.
it's supposed to be like 7.
Yeah.
Oh God, we're getting real strange here.
Speaking about strange.
Yeah.
So you know, we were talking last week about Trump. And my question is, what as a woman, like specifically as a woman, what are you afraid when it comes to the Trump administration?
Oh God. Well, you went right in, didn't you?
Yes, I did.
So I'll give you background.
Like my
right out of
molester.
college. Right out of college, I worked for a political action committee called Emily's List, and that helps pro-choice female Democratic candidates get elected to office.
Mm-hmm.
And I knocked doors, and I begged people to listen to my cause, and I was altruistic, and I studied politics, and I wanted to run for office, and I also have faced a lot of women's issues in terms of, you know, not getting the right kind of access to health care and facing cervical cancer. And so all the things that I had to face were basically taken care of by Planned Parenthood. And anything that I had to face in terms of, you know, my own health and my own rights was with Planned Parenthood. That was more for like cancer screening, for pap smears, things like that. And as a woman who, you know, has been a victim, not a victim, but a survivor of sexual assault at 15 years old, if I didn't have access to that kind of health care or that kind of, you know, that kind of treatment because of whatever agenda conservatives have towards it, I would not be a healthy woman. I might not be alive today. And I also might not be as successful as I am. So if I'm even successful at all. But that to me is my most important issue, in that if my access to that is taken away from me, where, you know, and just not even from me, but for little girls. I mean, I teach little girls, and, you know, they're coming up on that, like, you know, coming of age kind of years, and they, you know, what if they get in trouble? What if somebody hurts them? What if they're too afraid to tell their mothers that they're, you know, that they're sexually active, or they're, you know, they come from, what if they're molested? Just like we were just joking about. What if they're molested and they don't have access to health care such as Planned Parenthood? Where are they going to be left? And then how are we going to support the children or the problems that arise without that kind of care? That's my, I mean, overall biggest problem.
But what has Trump said, though, that gives you that?
It's not necessarily what Trump has said. It's really just the larger picture of if there's a Republican. I'm also very educated in government. I used to work in government. I worked for a joint finance committee of Delaware when I was, I don't know, 24, 20, maybe 26. And I know the Republican and the conservative agenda. I understand it. And I also know that it's not just a Republican president that has an effect on legislation. That's the most important thing to me, is legislation. It's when there is a Republican-controlled Congress, in addition to a Republican president, whatever the Republican agenda is, regardless of whether you think the man is going to be, a game changer or whatever people may think. I mean, if you're looking at his appointments of Congress, or not Congress, committee people, and
cabinet.
His cabinet,
Yeah.
you know, these things are. It's more dangerous to me and my rights when it's an all Republican controlled government. And I don't, the societal implications and what, the grab her by the whatever, et cetera, that's not my concern. My concern is more about legislation versus drama, to be quite honest.
Oh, okay.
And I think if that's fair. As a woman, that's fair.
Yeah, that's a fair concern.
Um,
Everyone has to be worried about, okay, where, and this is a cross-party issue. Like, everyone has to worry: are my rights protected? Will they take my guns away, take my freedom of speech, take my health rights? The right to. Yeah, I could get that. That's a fair fear.
I mean, it really has.
Uh-oh. Did we lose her? We lost her. All right. And the call dropped. Okay, I'm going to try calling her again. Let's see. Boo-boo-doo.
How about now?
Yeah.
Okay, sorry. I apologize. So when you start looking at campaign politics versus governing, and you realize that people in a campaign year are going to be way more dramatic, and they're going to posture, they're going to do and say whatever they can to get elected. And at the end of the day, our system is such that the way that the checks and balances work, whatever party is in control, has the majority, is going to continue to have their say. And that's, I think if we're more balanced in the, who's got control of this house, who's got control of, of the Senate, who's got control of the presidency, then that's what we talk about. But nobody really gets involved in the small legislation. They get involved in just the reality show that's in front of them, right, which is politics.
So, who specifically, unlike the comedy community, you can name names when it comes to politicians. So, who exactly are that of the newly elected officials are you afraid of that's going to take your reproductive rights away?
I wouldn't say that it's a specific person. I got out of politics because I disagree with it, and I didn't think I could make a change when I was in it. And I think that as a comic, I have more of an opportunity just to kind of guide social commentary. I don't follow it so that I could be afraid of someone. I just know that a majority is a majority, and when people that are very conservative want to move their agenda that way, then that's the way that they're going to go. I don't have fear necessarily. I think that the people that such as myself that are against that kind of legislation being moved through, overturning Roe v. Wade or something like that, which would be a huge, devastating blow to the future of America. If those kinds of people, I think we need to get together. We need to talk about things. We need to be more involved, at more of a grassroots level, and then really do get involved in the legislation process and in governing, not just in campaigns. I don't have a fear. I'm more proactive. So I think that organizing, and that doesn't just go for me and whatever my passions are. I think that goes for everyone. If you have something that you really want to be enacted, or you really have a passion for something, or you care about whatever that legislation may be, whether it be homelessness, or whether it be the environment, et cetera, there are governmental bodies that have hearings on those specific issues, and they are open to the public day to day, week by week, month by month. It depends on whether you want to get involved in citywide or statewide or federally. I mean, I think federally you can't, but there is a way for each and every single citizen to become involved in legislation, and not just in in presidential campaigns and that kind of politics. So I think that the bigger picture is not just what my problems are with, the Republicans and what have you. I think it's more the complacency and the apathy that American citizens have when it comes to actual issues and having a say. Your vote isn't just enough. Like, if you're going to be an active citizen, then you need to be going to these hearings, getting involved, and saying your piece. And then instead of the government just going whatever way they want to go, then they also have to be pressured by not just lobbies, but by people themselves. That's my take. I mean, it's way bigger, I'm sure, than what you thought you're going to get talking to me. But
well, I mean, when I first put this out there on Facebook, when I was looking for people to interview, you commented, "Terrorized also fits."
Yeah, we are, but we're terrorized on either side, aren't we? Like, if you start to think about it, it's the terror of, am I so afraid that, they hate me as a woman? Am I so afraid that they hate me because I'm Muslim, or they hate me because I'm this, or they want to enact that, or they want to keep people out, or they want to harm people, they want to take away my rights of my own religion that I don't have. But, any kind of vernacular that is more exclusive rather than inclusive is terrifying to anyone, either side. And so if it's, these people are out to get you, or these people are out to hurt you, or these are evil people and they're terrifying you, that conversation in and of itself is terrifying. And yeah, it's terror. And I think that's just a modern day terrorism. It's not what we use when we describe it. We just say, well, it's politics and media, and this is just the game that's played. Not necessarily. I don't think so.
I mean, me personally, I'm terrified. Well, not terrified. More like, getting to the point of absolute pissed offedness, if that's a word. Of people, of the globalists, like, the people that go to the Bilderberg conference, the Council on Foreign Relations. Hell, even the United Nations, which I believe does a lot of evil towards women around the world with their blue helmets that have been caught raping women and engaging in child pornography around the world. That's who I worry about.
Well, I think it's more of when you start looking at the people that are in power versus the people that have the power, that apparently this is a democratic society and we're all free. I don't think that we are. I think that there really is, that does continue to be the 1% versus the 99. I think the 99% of people, no matter, what economic grade you find yourself to be in, I think that we really don't have the freedoms and, the freedom to do and say whatever we want. I think that the people that are making the decisions aren't really taking into account, what our concerns are. They don't really listen, and I think that that's partially the fault of the citizen, like I just said. And like the UN, there's a situation, in place. There are checks and balances even there, where you can lobby the UN representatives. You can go there, you can make a big stink, you can get involved. And I don't think that we do. And I think it's partially because we are a largely ignorant and lazy electorate. That's our problem. And I think that people really did get motivated because they thought this thing is scary, that thing is scary. But instead of being scared of the thing that we should be scared of, which is our own government, we're scared of outside influences. And that's scary for me. That's terrifying. I think we really, the first step in being a good patriot is to not agree with your government all the time. Right. You shouldn't. We really shouldn't. We should disagree with the government, what they're doing. We should challenge them. We should face them. We should do something about it instead of just swallowing what we're told.
Exactly.
So that's where I am. It's not liberal or Democrat or conservative. It's a completely different side of things. So that's I haven't talked politically like this in a really long time, but
How does it feel?
feels good to say it. It feels good to say it. I
Good.
think it's a little scary to say it because I'm just saying like, oh yeah, go against your government. You should though.
Hey,
You
I
should.
say that all the time.
You should go against your government because if the government goes unchecked, then it gets out of control, which it already is.
Well, if I could quote V from Vendetta, the government should be afraid of its people, not its people afraid
People
of the
afraid of its government, exactly. I think we did some good here. I'm not a terrible monster that's like women and
But I
Trump
mean,
was a monster.
yeah.
Like,
But my
I
question,
think
like, I wanna like bringing it back to topic. I mean, like, I really want to understand why you are specifically afraid of the upcoming Trump's administration. Like, what has he said? What has he done? And that has
it's not just him. It's really not him. That I think that that is disconcerting and upsetting and dangerous. I think that when you prey on the fears and the worries of an electorate, and they're mobilized in such a nasty, angry way, because you're manipulating them and their ignorance, and their lack of involvement, and you push whatever that the strange agenda, or you say all these things. It's a slippery slope. I just think.
What specifically though? What specifically has Trump said?
It's more the tone. It's the tone. It's also things like that I just saw. Was it today or yesterday? It said, let me look, something along the lines of, he said that if you burn the American flag, that you should either go to jail, or that you should either go to jail, or you shouldn't be citizen, something like that.
Or you should have your citizen taken away. In fact, he was he was repeating what Hillary said back in 2004. Hillary said the same exact thing.
Was she in what context?
That very same context. If you burn the flag, you should be put in jail for at least a year, or fined $100,000.
So let's go burn flags. That's what I'm saying. I don't care who says it, but when he's saying, when you're a president elect at this point, and you're saying that, he has you can say that as a, when you're not the president, the man said whatever. He said whatever he wanted to say, and nobody gave a shit what he said. He's cool. He can run off the handle. He could, go as crazy as he wants to be and as unconventional as he wants to be. That's fine when you have no power. But when you have power, this is what I'm saying. There should be checks and balances, and there are, for a presidency. But when you say such incendiary things, such as that, and you have the power to legislate on it, that's when I start to get bothered, and I start to get like a little, that's terrifying. You can legislate on that now. I don't care about what the man says. I care about what he can legislate on, and what things, whatever agenda they want to push through, like I said before. So
what Trump agenda are you most worried about?
Nationalistic, xenophobic, just that kind of sentiment. Just having all Muslims be removed from the country. The kind of things that go against our very clearly stated constitutional rights: freedom of religion, freedom of speech, freedom of burning a flag, that kind of thing. That goes against our amendments, the amendments to the Constitution, those things specifically.
So what are your thoughts on what happened yesterday at Ohio State, wherein a Somali Muslim was slashing people?
I was not there, and I have not watched the news because I've been teaching children all day. I got wind of it. I don't know the specifics of it. I know that the man is a apparently a Muslim man, and he's Somali. Is that what you said?
Yeah.
He's not Syrian. He's Somali. Okay. Somalians. So now are we supposed to be afraid of Somalians now too? Because we also did save those guys. There's a lot of unrest all over the world, and is it now that people are Muslims, are we going to go against one of our constitutional rights, the freedom of religion? Is that what we're going to do? Because that's the Constitution. And if the Constitution is wrong, then we need to amend the Constitution. We're going to do that. Like that, again, to me, that's terrifying. Not just because the man did a terrible thing, because there are terrible people that are Christian. There are terrible people that are, I don't even know the other
Well,
religions.
me personally,
like Jewish.
Yeah.
There are always so many different kinds of people.
Right.
But when you start to demonize all religion, it's just going to go back to something like the Inquisition. Like what part of that makes any sense as a democratic nation? We're supposed to be free with our religion. We're supposed to be free with our words. We're not supposed to demonize and remove people for the religion that is against who we are as the people. From our Constitution. That's it. It's not, because I think Muslims are great or they're not great. I lived with Muslim people. They're wonderful people. They were the only people that took me in when I was homeless. So what should I tell them, that they should get out too? I don't think so. They never harmed me. But they're bad people too. I was kept against my will in Morocco by a Muslim man. Is it because they were evil people? No, it's probably because he just thought I was really hot and he wanted to marry me. You see what I'm saying? Oh. That was a joke. But not everybody, just because you're. So
my question is, you married one Semitic man but you curved the other one. What happened? I'm just kidding.
No, I date freely and like a Democrat. I dated whomever because it wasn't about their religion. It was about who they were as a person, and I care more about the person and the thoughts in someone's head as opposed to whatever doctrine that they follow.
Me, I date like a libertarian. It's all about market value for me.
Oh.
So, there you go. I made a libertarian joke. Holy crap! I'm smart. No,
You're smart?
I'm smart. No, I'm not. I know how to fake it real good. So,
the husband's home. Here we go. The husband's home. Completely different responses that you would get from my husband, but I think
Senor Berg is in the house.
He is in the house. But I think this is really good. I really appreciate you having me on the show. It was really nice to be able to chat about the stuff that matters.
Oh, you got to go
instead of yelling at each other.
Well, but I mean, how else are we going to get any understanding if we're just
exactly. Instead of telling me that. Me that you're a piece of shit and that you know nothing and that you're an asshole. Yeah. That doesn't get us anywhere. That is not how moving forward works.
And
so
plus, only
I appreciate you for it.
Plus, only my family's allowed to do that, which is why I wasn't invited to Thanksgiving dinner.
My dad too. We're good.
They're like, you voted for Trump, you can't come in here because you're gonna be talking about that political conspiracy nonsense, like the. Like the Ehrenbergs did 9/11. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah. Well, thank you again. I really appreciate it. I think you're doing a good thing trying to talk to people that are different, that have different ideas than you do. So I think it's a good thing.
All right. Well, you got to go?
Yeah, I kind of do have to go. I'm sorry. I have to.
Oh, wow.
I really appreciate it, though. I'm so sorry that I have to cut it short.
Okay. Well, do you have anything you want to promote before you go?
Let's see, where am I? Do I have anything? I am always, let's see, what do I have? Oh, I always have a, first Mondays of every month, I have, it's called Basic Mondays, and I run it with a very great comic named Casey Balsham. It is at the Standing Room in Long Island City, and that is the first Monday of every month at 8 o'clock, and we'll have one, I think, December 5th. And I think the next one is January 2nd. So I'd love for people to come out to that. We kind of do free form. There's a lot of ladies on the show. There's also some dudes that we have. And it's a really good time. And it's free. So.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, I'd love for people to come.
Thank you, Christy, for coming on. I really appreciate it. And if you ever want to come back on, just be like, I want to come back on and talk crap, and I'll be like, okay.
Oh, I would love that. I really appreciate it. It was a good time.
Yep.
Wonderful job. Thank you so much again.
You're welcome. Bye.
Bye-bye.
That was Christy Meehan Berg. Definitely check her out. Before I'm gonna take a quick break, and then we're gonna be back, and I'm just gonna be talking crap until hopefully maybe I could get someone else to talk in the interview. But here, listen to this bit. This holiday season, instead of looking up deals on fucking TVs and rushing to stores to fight others to the death for the latest gadget, here's something to think about. Read from the Citizens Rulebook, a summary of the Communist Manifesto. The Communist Manifesto represents a misguided philosophy which teaches the citizens to give up their rights for the sake of the common good. But it always ends in a police state. This is called preventative justice. Control is the key concept. Listen carefully. 1. Abolition of private property. 2. Heavy progressive income tax. 3. Abolition of all rights on inheritance. Confiscation of property of all immigrants and rebels. A central bank. Government control of communications and transportation. Government ownership of factories and agriculture. Government control of labor. Corporate farms. Regional planning. Government control of education. Can anyone notice this going on in the United States? In the Constitutional Republic of the United States? Something to think about. This has been a message from the Crotshot Radio Show. Happy holidays. And we're back. I'm still looking for someone else to who wants to come in. Mojo was like interesting conversation. Yeah, it was. I mean, the one thing I noticed is like she didn't specifically have anything to say about Trump. We got Angel Rosado of Urban Hits Radio. How you doing? Yeah, I'm still trying to look for somebody. You can do it over Skype. So, So what do you guys think about it? Chat it up. What do you think about what Christy Meehan had to say? Like, I wasn't trying to debate her because, honestly, it wouldn't. If it would have been a debate, it wouldn't have been productive. I just don't. It's not. I don't think debate. I don't think at this juncture, I don't think debate is productive. I don't think it's gonna solve anything. All it's gonna do is like, you're an idiot. No. It's just gonna get personal. It would have gotten personal. Oh, hold on. Mildra.
Yo, what's up, Louie?
How you doing? So what you think of that interview?
Well, there were a few things that I was gonna say, but I wanted to kind of hold my tongue until after the whole thing was going because now I'm not gonna go into name calling.
Well, she's a nice girl, so I mean
she's nice.
Yeah, so I mean
there's no denying that.
Yeah.
And I wanted to break character for a moment and be nice back.
Oh, okay. I mean, it's just that's I wanted to find out. And I'm still curious. I'm still curious on what the fear is.
But
I didn't get a chance to answer the question.
Yeah, that was the thing that kept pulling out, and there were a few moments where, anytime I say no disrespect or bless her heart or something like that, I feel like I'm setting somebody up for a burial or some shit. Mm-hmm. But what I noticed is that there was not a direct answer. It was all about the broader picture or something like that, and
right.
It's not that she didn't raise any good points in that, but it was more of the approach in the fact that you're asking a direct question, and it doesn't look good to not give a direct answer. Is what I'm saying.
Yeah. I mean, well, she did. She did say she wasn't really concerned about Trump, though. So.
Yeah.
It's. More...
I can get that, but what you had asked is what are people so afraid of when it comes to him specifically?
Yeah.
So that statement I can respect it. It's not much of a factor in the context of that query.
Yeah, I'm still looking for people that want to come on. A lot of people had a lot to say about this, but trying to get them on, it's ridiculous.
I think, to be quite honest, I don't think there is going to be a straight answer to the question, because fear is irrational.
Not always. Because sometimes fear is an appropriate response as an early warning system. Helps you become more alert, hyper aware. I guess in times of immediate danger, but
yeah, but in the case, but when it comes to fear that's in the same family as prejudice and the like, it is very much not something based in ration, but more in emotion. Mm-hmm. Like you've seen it. I've seen it a lot of times with people who when they're afraid of something, they aren't really thinking, they're reacting. Usually on some sort of base instinct. Now, granted, I'm by no means a trained psychologist, but right. I'm very good at reading people.
So yeah, what did you read?
Well, obviously, in this kind of case, it's kind of limited because I'm just using voice and I'm just relying on voice and not body language. Right. But the trend that I've seen during and in the wake of the election was one of very much irrationality, but things didn't really hit home until a comment that Jon Stewart had made when he was in an interview regarding his book. Mm-hmm. Which you can probably find the interview if you just type up Jon Stewart's CBS interview. But what he said was that in the liberal community, you're not supposed to treat people as monoliths. Mm-hmm. i.e. some person is not not just a Muslim. You're not just a Puerto Rican. I'm not just a angry giant. or this time of the year a Scrooge, but mm-hmm. I'm getting ahead of myself. The point is that the whole not treating people as monoliths is exactly what's been happening, not just during the election cycle, but just period over the last year. Like 2016 seems to be the year where that kind of stuff really we started to see that a bit in 2015, but it's really just flooded out in 2016.
Yeah, I mean the people that I've mostly my family, who actually I was trying to get one of them to come on, but she's busy with schoolwork, so it's they quote Trump he said this, that, and then that tape was heavily edited, right? It's always the grab them by the pussy, and it's the full.
Louis, are you familiar with the phrase "quote mine"?
No, I'm not.
Now I'm going to quote Wikipedia. Quote mining is the practice of quoting out of context, sometimes referred to as context dominate and quote mining. It's an informal fallacy and a type of false attribution in which a passage is removed from its surrounding matter in such a way as to distort its intended meaning.
Right. And they've been doing that to Trump a lot. And, and I keep telling them, the full quote is, when you're famous, they let you do that. Like, yeah.
Well, the other thing to note is that when that I've always noticed when it comes to dealing with the irrational.
Oh, they also call it Breitbarting. They also call it Breitbarting.
I don't even get that.
Yeah.
But it's okay. I kind of get it in the sense of the spooky language that Carlin would mock during his time.
Like, and they also they also associate that with conspiracy theorists.
Different words, same song.
Yep.
Basically using whatever other words you can use to
examples.
Dismiss
the
argument.
Bible, the conspiracy theorists.
Yeah, no matter which set of words you put on it, it's
yeah. But
the sole purpose of it is to trying to dismiss what somebody's saying, and use a kind of label. It's no different.
The point is, when I've spoken to people, like at my job, I've said this. I've spoken about this before. At my job, is like, oh, Trump's racist. Okay, how's he racist? What exactly? He just is. He just is. Okay, how he said a lot of stuff about black people. What did he say specifically? And then they're like, oh, come on. Like, okay, you can't even quote me what he said.
You know what my favorite quote from Hitchens is?
What?
That which is asserted without evidence can be dismissed without evidence. And evidence is a big deal for me. So if you can't prove something to me, then it's not worth my time. And what I see with a lot of these people is a kind of reversion of the scientific method. And let me see if I can find. There's a certain
I've made that mistake.
A certain strip I'm going to share with you.
Okay, I've made that mistake before, where like something that is like a meme that's pro-Trump, like that will prove, like it's like, oh well, it says this. But the thing is, I will always go back and see if I can try to confirm it. Excuse me. Like I've made the mistake in posting something without verifying it first. But once I've verified it and it's wrong, or I can't find a reliable source, I delete that shit immediately. But
you see the image that I just sent you. It's a kind of 2-panel strip. Okay, I just sent it to you on Skype.
Yeah, checking it right now.
I think if you replaced creationist with the type of people who jump to these sorts of conclusions or have that fear,
yeah,
you'd be fairly spot on with this.
Well, I believe we were created, and I think, but the thing is, I believe that it could be supported with science. It's just that a lot of religions have like twisted it.
Well, the reason and for everyone else listening, I'll describe. I'll describe the comic. It's basically a 2-panel thing. On one side, you have the scientific method.
Yeah.
And someone's saying, here are the facts. What conclusions can we draw from them? And then you have the creationist method, which is, here's the conclusion. What facts can we find to support it?
Okay.
And when I see people using that quote or the person that you described when you were asking around, the latter is always what ends up coming to mind. Like they have this idea. A lot of times it ends up being a impression of what they thought they heard, and is so removed from reality. I can't help but call it irrational.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. And it's for that reason that I can't help but be so dismissive when they try and beg you to agree with them, because it's about, for a lot of those sort of people, it's about being seen as being right.
Mm-hmm.
And incidentally, when it comes to, I just need to get this out of my system. When it comes to people being too complacent, when it comes to politics, I think the big problem is once again that as much as I hate to say it, a lot of us are very go with the crowd.
Mm-hmm.
We build a comfort zone around others. Sometimes not even sometimes other people, sometimes not, but getting involved like that is something that's kind of an individual thing, and for a lot of people, especially nowadays, it ends up running the risk of putting yourself a little too far out there without any real safety net. Especially nowadays, where people are so completely divided that merely disagreement is enough to get yourself blacklisted.
Oh yeah, no. I mean, it'll get like I said, I wasn't invited to the family Thanksgiving because of my support of Trump and me wearing a shirt that says Hillary for prison. At least
in my case, it's because they're mad at me for what I did to the cranberry sauce last year.
What, you ate it all?
No, I stole the cranberry. They used jelly cranberry sauce. I stole it and replaced it with red beets.
Let's see if they know this. Did you do it as a prank or as?
Yes.
Really?
Because
and they got.
Yeah.
Did you at least give?
Yeah, they fell for it.
But did you give them back the cranberry sauce?
No.
Oh, fuck them then.
Because I have a chocolate allergy, and they gave me a chocolate cake on my birthday.
Oh wow. So you're like a dog.
It's the cocoa bean specifically that I can't handle.
But you like carob. You can have carob. Have you ever had carob? Carob is fantastic.
I have never had carob.
You should try carob.
Well, if I can find some in the middle of the Midwest, maybe I'll try it.
Well, go to what's it called? Forget it. I forgot the name of that Muslim town in Michigan.
But GenCon's next year. Maybe I'll try it. That.
Yeah.
Oh wait a minute, that's in Indiana. Never mind.
Yep. So yeah. Anyways, I don't know, man. It just like she was nice and all, but I really wanted to get into the specifics, and I think I'm just gonna end up having to do this again. Like, who's afraid of the big bad Trump? Again, And
if you do that, please don't add Electric Boogaloo onto any part of the title.
Ah, yes. Who's afraid of the Big Mac Trump? True, Electric Boogaloo. Yes. Yes, I know that joke from Breaking. I unfortunately seen that movie.
Yeah, I've seen that joke way too many times, especially anytime I end up repeating any of my own gags.
Yeah.
But I
she was a nice girl. I mean, she got lit when talking about women's issues, which honestly Trump has said, states' rights. And honestly, I'm not a woman. I don't know how serious that would be or how detrimental that would be to women if it just becomes a matter of the states. But the thing is, it's a constitutional right for a woman to be able to have an abortion.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know how easily, even with a Republican Congress, they would amend it, or even think to amend it, or get to amend it.
To be quite honest, I really don't think it would even be able to get that far, because, for one, if they end up trying it, the amount of backlash that would occur would just make the whole thing not worth it.
Yeah, and honestly, there's really much more important shit than to women shouldn't get fucking abortions. I mean, the thing I do have a problem with Planned Parenthood though, because I mean they are hugely corrupt. They've committed insurance fraud in some states, and this whole thing with the selling of the baby fetuses.
Yeah, I'm sure that they've helped a lot of people, but they're no saints.
Yeah, no. I mean, and the fact that it was started as a way to lower the population of black people. I mean, Margaret Sanger, if you want to talk about someone who could literally be Hitler, like as they like to say, oh, he's literally Hitler. Margaret Sanger, especially with the shit she said, and and it's so. I think it's thrown in their face so often that when the fundraisers are in my neighborhood, I bring it up, and they immediately got an argument for that. And it's like, oh well, that was back in the day. That's not what Planned Parenthood stands for now.
2 words, tu quoque.
To what?
Tu quoque. It's Latin for you. It's Latin for you too. Basically, when somebody's argument could just as easily be flipped around on themselves.
Yeah.
Because
I mean, let's say okay, so how's about this when it comes to this fear of white nationalists? Why can't we just say, well, that's not what they stand for anymore? Why can't there be a
you could use those exact words, word for word, and you would have the exact argument. In other words, you would have no argument.
Mm-hmm.
You get pinged?
I'm being some chick is trying to catfish me. Or I think it's a chick, probably isn't, but it's like you could tell when someone's typing in like broken, poor syntax English. It's like you can't be a real person when you're like fucking up English that bad and you say you're born here. So I'm just saying, are you looking to be remarried? Apparently she's trying to like fish information. She's like, I thought you were married. And I'm like, oh, my wife died while sucking her boyfriend's dick in a car crash. Or some shit like that. So it's like, oh my God, I'm sorry. I'm like, you know what? And she asks, oh, are you willing to remarry? I'm like, look, I just want to fuck. Send me nude pictures now or just don't bother talking to me.
Tits or GTFO.
Yeah. Like, yeah. Like you're not putting nothing past me. I'm not thirsty. I'm not one of these thirsty motherfuckers. I'll tell. It ain't nothing for me to tell a bitch off.
Yeah, if they want thirst, go to the desert.
Yeah. Like I could go to the store, get me some Gatorade. No, there's no problem. I am not. Yeah. So, anyways, let's. We've already got on the official tangent of the show. I think it's time for me to end it. Like to thank Christy Meehanberg for coming on. She's a comedian. She's hilarious. Check her out. Mildred, always a pleasure to have you on the show. Angel, thanks for listening. And now she's saying maybe later she'll send me some nudes. Fuck her. damn catfish. I really hate this shit. See, you try to meet somebody, and it's like, oh, hey, like, all right, oh, you're cute, this and that. If you want to continue talking, join me on my website. Like, what the fuck for? Damn it. So, anyways, this has been the Crotch Chat Radio Show, and as always, from my house to your house, mahalo.
That's the end of my show. Donk.